Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and come into a good cross leg position, and just find your levelness. Feel that you sit evenly on both seat bones. And you can find quietness in the comfort of levelness. So hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose. Deep inhalations and deep exhalations. Listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Just close your eyes, holding onto your knees, filling your lungs from the bottom to the top, and emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Allow your eyes to be still in the sockets. So if you feel that you are unable to keep your eyes still in the sockets, just for the moment, reopen your eyes and look at something that doesn't move. And then release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste, press the palms firmly together. Close your eyes if you reopened them. Lengthen consciously from the armpits into the elbows, so that the hands are away from the chest, so that the chest can expand without resistance, accommodating the in-breath, accommodating the out-breath. Gently draw your chin forwards and down to meet the chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Breathe even deep inhalations and exhalations, listening to the sound of the breath. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Express gratitude, holding on to the feeling of abundance in the heart area. And release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And then as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, elevating the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Listening to the breath. Using each exhalation to intensify the turn a little. Come back to the center, hold onto your knees. Lift up into your chest. And then with an exhalation, turn to the left. And then come back to the center. Just come off your lift and down onto your knees. Sit back on your heels. Just allow the shins to sink into the ground. So we're coming forwards. If you've got a stiff back, then you can come forward across a bolster. So you can lift up, and then when you come forward, you stretch forwards across the bolster, and it just makes the pose a little more comfortable for your back. Otherwise, lift up into the chest, keep the seat bones down on the heels as much as you possibly can, and then stretch your arms away. Lengthen into the fingertips, lengthen into the palms, and then bring the forehead down. If you lose contact between the seat bones and the heels when you bring your forehead down, then either walk your hands back a little towards your head and then really straighten them, or put a block under your head. If your seat bones are miles away, then put a block between the seat bones and the heels, or a folded blanket, or just something that allows you to hit back into something. Fire up the activation. Lengthen the tailbones down to the heels. Stretch into the arms, into the palms, into the fingers. Keep your elbows straight. Keep the forearms off the floor. Draw the outer elbows inwards. And then from there, sit back on your heels. And then prepare for either dog down or dandasana. If you're not doing dog down, if you're not going upside down, then if there's any reasons why you shouldn't go upside down, then do dandasana instead. Stretch your legs along the floor, sit upright with the chest. Otherwise, turn the toes under and then come up into dog down. So regardless of dog down or dandasana, we work the legs, the chest and the arms in the same way. So tighten the kneecaps, press the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees. Activate the thigh muscles, lift the thigh muscles up to the hip, and then turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so that you feel the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. In that corkscrew action, your heels should start to separate. So in dandasana, you can have your feet hip width apart, or classically toes together. But for a first dandasana, you can have your feet hip width apart. Activate your legs. So the more you activate your legs, the more you can work into the spine. Breathe even deep inhalations and exhalations, listening to the sound of the breath. And then step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. So just a short dog down, bring your feet as wide apart as the mat, have some blocks for your hands. And then bring your hands onto your hips, lift up into the chest, wing the elbows towards each other. Tighten your kneecaps. Lift your thighs up to the crease of the groin, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. And then hinge at the hips, keep the head lifted, keep the back straight as you come forward, keeping the kneecaps tightened. And then straighten the legs, get the legs to straighten. So if this is too low for you, then put the blocks on a bolster or on another pile of blocks, or use the seat of a chair. Project the chin and the chest forwards. Activate the legs like you're doing dandasana. Spend a moment to observe the balance of action. Are you working your legs evenly? Are you projecting the chest away evenly? Listen to the breath. Long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. If you can go down lower, then do. But stay, especially if you're protecting your back, stay on the highest possible lift. I mean, of course, we're all protecting our backs, but if you've got a current injury, then stay at the highest possible lift. Draw your attention inwards. Feel where your legs are in 3 dimensions. Feel where your weight is in your feet. Is it in your toes? Or can you draw the shins back so that you bring your weight into your heels? Work with observation. Bring your hands into your hips. Bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into a standing position. Just come into Tadasana. Just be in Tadasana, spending a few moments listening to the breath. In through the nose and out through the nose.
just drawing your attention into the present moment. So if there's anything else on your mind, then that can be distracting. So draw yourself into the physical body, into the present moment. Bring your arms out nice and wide, spread the fingers in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out, and then come down into trikonasana. Just see how your trikonasana feels for you today. Lift the chest. Draw the chest and the abdomen up towards the ceiling. Observe your own alignment. Feel your front leg hip, your right hip, is in line with the heel. The heel of the front foot, the right foot, is in line with the instep of the back foot, not the heel of the back foot. Just feel that you are in that right position in 3 dimensions, working from the feet. Because if the feet aren't in the right place, then the rest of the pose will be wrong. If you can find the right place for your feet, just have a quick look down at your foot. Is your head over your foot? And then just have a quick glance, make sure that that heel is in line with the instep of the back foot. Adjust it if it isn't. And then lift up again. Reach up with the top hand, come back to the centre, swap the feet around. Turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. And then come over into trikonasana on the other side, keeping the legs straight. Just feeling your body's response to the initial pose. Observing where there is resistance. Breathing into that resistance, breathing out of that resistance. Push the out breath into resistance. Consciously push the out breath into areas of resistance. Again, just look down at the foot. Is your head over your foot? Just have a quick glance, make sure that the heel is in line with the instep. Adjust it if it's not. And then come back to the centre. Bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Focusing on inhalations and exhalations. Okay, so grab yourself a chair and a belt, and then stand in front of the chair and make sure that you can be in Tadasana in front of the chair, facing the chair, and then you can raise your leg. And then that is firstly doable, and secondly a sufficient lift. So a sufficient lift, ideally we want the foot to come up in line with the hip, but that isn't going to be right for everyone. So you just have to find that for yourself. So you might bring your foot onto the chair and think, well, that's not high enough. So you might put a block on top and then feel like, well, that's more like it, or maybe then 2 blocks. And then you might think, well, yeah, that feels okay, or it feels too much. So just find that appropriate height for you. So actually, rather than that, this will be more secure, I think. Okay, once you've found the right distance, then make sure you're sitting a leg's distance away from the chair. If you're not sure how to work out your leg distance, then just sit on the floor with your feet in line with the edge of the front edge of the chair. Just maybe put your belt out where your hips are, and then stand up, and then bring your heels where your hips were, and then that's your legs distance. So it's utthita padangusthasana. So you've got a belt, you can just put that over your shoulder for a moment, and then lift up into the chest. Come into tadasana. Breathe into tadasana. Listen to the breath. And then really spread the toes of the left foot and then stretch the right leg up. Now I'm slightly too far away because I line my foot up with the front edge of the mat, and my foot is really going into the middle of the chair. So I'm just stepping forward a little and just finding that space. You just don't want to be too narrow. You don't really want to be too wide either. Once the foot is on the belt, once the foot is on the lift, lasso the belt around the foot, and then hold onto the belt with one end in each hand. So go back to the standing leg, turn the front of the thigh inwards so that the back of the thigh broadens outwards. Just have a quick look along the floor, make sure that those toes haven't kind of rolled out to the side, that they're just in tadasana. So turn that front leg inwards, turn the lifted leg inwards, push the foot into the belt, pull against the belt, and then lift up into the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Now if you feel like you've got balance at this stage, we're going to do something else with the arms, but let's just focus on our pose to start off with. So turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards of both legs. Feel that your hips are level. Just cross over the end of the belt so it stays in place, and bring your hands onto your hips. If that feels okay, then stay, otherwise go back to the belt. So keep that standing leg turning inwards, keep this lifted leg turning inwards. And then if you can raise your arms up, lifting up towards the ceiling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Utthita padangusthasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Keeping that standing leg turning inwards, keeping the lifted leg turning inwards, keeping the hips level. Okay, release the leg, and then just come back into tadasana. Just be in tadasana, have the belt over your shoulders, and then just come into tadasana. Just feel the difference in the legs. And then feel that the feet are together, so the inner edge of the feet are touching. Spread the toes. So when we lift the leg, what often wants to happen is that this standing foot wants to turn outwards like that. But that's going to put the hips out of line. So when you bring the leg forwards, do your best not to disturb that standing foot. So bend the left leg, and then just bring the left heel onto the lift. Get the belt, throw the belt around the foot, and then hold onto both ends of the belt with one with each hand. One end of the belt with each hand. And then go back to that standing leg. Go back to that standing leg. Turn the front of the thigh really consciously inwards. So it makes this standing leg hip come forwards a little. Do the same with this leg. Turn the front of the thigh consciously inwards. Let's have a little glance down. Make sure that that foot hasn't rolled out to the side. Correct it if it has. So turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lengthen from this left armpit down into this left outer hip, trying to draw the outer hip down towards the floor. Lift up into the chest. If you feel comfortable to do so, release the belt, just cross it over, and then just come back into the pose. Keep that standing leg turning inwards, the inner knee rotating towards the back of the room. Lift up into the heart area, and then if you can, raise your arms up. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just keeping your attention inside the physical body, bringing your attention into the present moment. And then release the leg. And then come back into Tadasana. Just focusing on inhalations and exhalations. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Okay, and then just move the chair and the equipment. And just keep the belts handy. Keep the belt handy. Keep the blocks handy, and then just come into Tadasana, but with the feet hip width apart. Turn the toes in slightly. Tighten your kneecaps, and then turn the fronts of the thighs in. Now, what this tends to do, especially when your feet are apart, it tends to turn the fronts of the thighs in, but you stick the tailbone out. So can you do both? Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards and then draw the tailbone inwards. Lift up into the chest. Activate the arms and then raise your arms up in urdhva hastasana. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel that there's evenness of action in the legs. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, hitting the inner knees away from each other and lifting the inner knees up towards the groin. Tuck the tailbone in. Reach up from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, into the wrists, into the palms, into the hands. So urdhva hastasana. Should feel like the pose is growing out of the floor and up to the sky. Ideally the arms are shoulder width apart. I can only go a bit wider because of this lack of ceiling height, but if your arms are wider, then make sure they're straight. If your arms are closer together, make sure they're straight. If you can't straighten them, then bring them wider until you can straighten them. So if you bend your elbows, they become heavy. The arms become heavy. And then gently release. Just come back into Tadasana. Just observing how your body feels different. Perhaps there is energy in the chest and in the shoulders and in the head. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Try and keep your attention in the present moment. Listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Spread your toes of the left foot. If you can lift your shorts on that left leg, then all the better. If you can't, don't worry. Spread the toes of the left foot and then keep that standing leg straight as you bring the right foot up into the inner groin. If you need something to hold on to, then use that. So you can have a post, or you can do this against a wall, or maybe even just having something nearby can be reassuring enough to help maintain the pose. Tighten the standing leg kneecap. Turn the front of the thigh inwards. Think that corkscrew action of that standing leg. Lift up into the chest like you were doing in hastasana. Turn the front of the standing thigh inwards. Push the bent leg, buttock bone, forwards. Lengthen from this inner groin into the inner knee. Just feel that the hips are level this way and level behind you. Lift it up into the chest and then again reach up. Urdhva hastasana arms. Vrksasana. Tree pose. So this is really good for the stability of the legs. Listen to the breath. Just keep your attention in the pose. Feeling the pose from the feet into the legs, into the hips, into the abdomen, into the spine, into the chest, into the arms, into the head. And then release. Come back into Tadasana. Just raise the shorts on your right side if you can, just so that you've got, because skin on skin works much better than the kind of skin on material, which is much more likely to slip. So lift up into the chest. Breathe even deep inhalations and exhalations, listening to the breath. Tighten the kneecap of the standing leg, bring the foot high up into the thigh. Lift up into the chest, squeeze that bent leg buttock bone forward. Keep turning the standing leg inwards, the front of the thigh inwards, as the back of the thigh broadens outwards. Lengthen from the armpit of that left side down into the hip. Lengthen from the inner groin into the inner knee of that bent leg. And then raise your arms up. Ideally, urdhva hastasana arms, I have to make a variation because of the lack of ceiling height. But ideally, palms facing each other, raising the fingertips up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. So the direction of action is up. Keep your attention in the feet and in the legs. And then release. And then come back into Tadasana. So in that pose, vrksasana is a really good pose to do because it's a great metaphor for life. It's a really good strengthener for your legs. I've got terrible ankles, I always have done. Poses like this are really good for strengthening the ankles because they kind of, they kind of force the muscles around the ankles to really adapt to the differences in balance. There's always little fluctuations in balance. Just come back into Tadasana. There's always little fluctuations in balance. Just like in life, there are little fluctuations of ease of existence. Sometimes life feels easy, sometimes it really doesn't. But the muscles around the ankles and around the feet learn to adapt, and they support you. And if you wobble, well, that's normal because you're standing on one leg basically. But then you try again. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listen to the breath. Come down onto your knees. If you're not doing dog down, then go into supta, padangusthasana. Come onto your back with your feet close to the seat bones, feet together, the knees apart. Otherwise, have your hands shoulder width apart, step the feet apart, have the feet hip width apart, and then come up into dog down. Just observe your svanasana as it is right now, or your supta padangusthasana. Feel how your body feels right now. So just take this precise moment in time into account. How does the body feel? Does it feel there's a balance of action? Does it feel like there's an imbalance of action? So aim to correct it. Draw your attention into the pose, into the physical limbs, and observe whether they're working with evenness, with precision. If you're in dog down, come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels. If you're in supta padangusthasana, just stay there for a moment. Just observe the feeling of energy, whichever pose you are in. Listen to the breath, listen to the feeling of energetic energy. So that tree pose is certainly a good metaphor for our human existence. Fluctuate and we stay balanced, we wobble and we rebalance. We feel that the feet are planted into the floor and we grow out of the feet. If we know our foundations in the present moment, then we can tackle anything. Okay, just come back and sit back on your, just come into cross legs. So sit in cross legs. Hold onto your knees so you can sit directly on the floor. If that doesn't work for you, if you kind of sink in the chest, then sit on a lift, sit on a couple of blocks, create a little platform. Or just lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, draw in your shoulders down. So look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. Draw your attention into the seat bones connecting to the ground. Just feel the body where it connects to the floor. Try and roll onto the front edge of the seat bone so that you can pick up the chest, so you can lift the chest away from the floor. Draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with your chest. Lift the chest up to meet the chin. So we've got Jalandhara Bandha and energy lock. Lift Mula Bandha. So lift the anal sphincter up towards the diaphragm region. And hold without gripping, just lifting upwards. And Mula Bandha again is an energy lock. So just spend a few moments just listening to the breath. Maintaining Mula Bandha and Jalandhara Bandha. Or make variations if you need to. Just listen to the sound of the breath. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Empty the lungs from the top to the bottom. Just observe the energy of the in-breath permeating through the lining of the lungs and into the blood. And then raise your head, release Mula Bandha, lift up into the heart area. If you've got, so lift up into the heart area, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the right side. Come back to the center. Hold on to the knees, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the left. And then gently come back to the center. Just come down onto the floor and into supta padangusthasana. So come down onto your back, soles of the feet together, knees apart, just rest yourself down into the floor. If there's any tension in your hips, especially at the inner groin, then you can put blocks on the outsides of your thighs, just supporting the outer thighs. Have the same on either side, even if the discomfort is only on one side. Just spend a few moments listening and observing the breath. Have your hands on your lower ribs. And feel how the chest rises upwards and outwards with each inhalation and exhalation. Raise your arms up, interlock your fingers, turn the palms of your hands all the way out, and then lengthen your arms along the floor. If
there's stiffness in your shoulders, have a folded blanket or some blocks underneath your hands just to support the shoulders. Draw your attention back into the present moment. Raise your arms, interlock the fingers the other way, turn the palms all the way out. So interlock the fingers in the unnatural way so that the other index finger is on the top of the stack. Just breathing even deep inhalations and exhalations. And then release your arms, just rest your hands on your lower ribs. Just get a blanket and a folded blanket from underneath your head. So just supporting the back of your neck and your head. Bring your knees together. Just have your knees together and your feet apart for a moment. And then straighten out your legs. Just for a moment, come up onto your elbows. Make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the center of the mat. And then allow yourself to gently release into the ground. Listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Just allow the body to completely release into the floor, consciously unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs, allowing the body to become heavy. And out of that heaviness, perhaps you observe from the bones a radiating energy that works its way into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and the organs.
into the flesh and the skin. That feeling of energetic lightness radiating from the bones and all the way through to the skin. Consciously distributing that energy evenly throughout the body, using the breath to distribute it down to the toes, into the fingers and up into the top of the head. Never forgetting to bring energy into the brain. And then gently wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Bend your knees, bring your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. And then gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. Bring your hands into Namaste. Draw your breath down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek, to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence that helps bring the body and the mind into the present moment, and peacefulness that we can carry with us into our day. So when you're ready, raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open and focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy, really calmed and balanced your energy, and given you good positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.